I'm going to demonstrate how to make this really easy circle top. It's really comfortable, and when I have it on, I feel like I'm on my way to Hawaii. So let's get started. Before we begin, you need to measure 3 areas of your body. Measure around your chest. Measure from the base of your neck down to where you want the bottom of the shirt to land on your body. So this is that center length. Then measure from the base of your neck over the shoulder and down the arm to where you want the sleeves to land on your arms. After you've done your measuring, then you just need to do a little math problem to calculate how much fabric you'll need. So remember the center length that you did. Take that and multiply it times 2. That comes up to 54 inches. And then the extra fabric, I always add a little extra in because often fabric is cut crooked, and so it could mess up your whole project. So it's worth it to pay a little extra. So that comes up to 58 inches. Divide 58 inches by 36 inches, because that's how much is in a yard. So if this is your measurement, you'll need 1.5 yards. So this is just an example. You will need 2 packages of bias tape, 1/2 inch wide. If you want to make your own custom bias tape, then add 1/2 yard to the amount of fabric up here. So that would become 2 yards. Cut your bias tape 1 3/4 inches wide. If you do not know how to make your own bias tape, then click on the link in the upper right-hand corner, and it will take you to a detailed video on how to make it yourself. I am using wrapping paper to draw my pattern on. So this is the back side of wrapping paper. Right now it's kind of hard to go out and about looking for supplies for various things. So look around your home and see what you have. Take a tape measure and place it on the edge of the paper, going straight out towards the other side. Take your center measurement for the hemline area, how long you wanted your shirt to be, and go out that. Mine was 27 inches, so go out this way and put your mark. I put mine at 27 inches. Then take your tape measure and go down the side of the paper and mark that same measurement. Mine was 27. Then mark this side here and label it center fold. Up here, label it shoulder fold. So this is the top, and down there is the bottom. Over here is going to be the side. From the top, take your tape measure down the center front, and whatever your measurement was, mine was 27 inches, and put a mark. Keep the top of the tape measure up here and move it over just a little bit. Put another mark, and keep doing this, little marks every few inches apart, until you've gone all the way around over to the other side. So you can see what I did here, okay? After you have put all those little marks, then connect them. So just connect all of the marks until you have this quarter circle here. The circle top that I am making, I'm going to modify the circle just a little bit. It's going to be more of a U shape. But for those of you who wanted it to be a circle, you could leave it like this. But I advise you doing that only if you're going to make your circle top really short, and some people do. Then you would leave it like this. We're going to now draw the neck area. So we're going to make a circle. You can make this any shape you want, but I'm just keeping it really simple. So I like a narrower neckline on myself, but you could do it either 3 up to 4 inches. So come down from the top, shoulder folded line, and mark a spot at 3 or 4 inches, and then go out this way and do the same thing. Mark a spot. Then draw a line connecting them. So draw just a gentle curve. To mark the length of your sleeves, mine I want 18 inches. So I've started over here in this corner, go out 18 inches or whatever the length is that you wanted, and you're going to draw a line from here down to the bottom edge of the top. So here is the line that I drew. So this is now going to be the side of your top. To calculate the side seams, take your bust measurement, whatever yours is. This is mine. And then I'm going to add 6 inches because I don't like my tops very tight. I like them a little loose. So I've added that, and that came out to 46 inches. Divide it by 4. That comes out to 11 and a half. I'm going to round up just because it's going to make it easier. So I'm going to use 12 inches to mark where my side seams are. Now measure where your side seams are going to go. So here is the neckline. So from this corner here, go out whatever your calculation was. Remember, mine came out to 12 or 11 and a half. I rounded up to 12. And put just a little pencil mark there. It's just a temporary mark. Then you're going to go down from this mark straight down 11 inches and put another little mark here. And this is where the beginning of your side seams are going to go. So here is the top of the side seam. Go down and just put dash lines because this indicates where you're going to stitch. And I wanted about a 3-inch opening down here at the bottom edge. This is the hemming area. So I wanted it to stop because I don't want things to fit real tight against my hips. I want it to be very comfortable. Now cut the excess paper off. So I'm going to cut off up here. And then go down to the bottom edge on the curve and trim that off. And don't forget to cut the neckline out. If you wanted to, you could cut this part of the pattern off. But I like keeping it on because if in the future you want to make a complete circle top, you've already got it there on your pattern. So what I like to do for this particular top, I'm just going to fold this piece under so that it is out of the way. And then you would just lay it like this on top of your fabric. Keep your selvage edges folded together. So this end right here are my selvages. Now fold your fabric in half. So you're going to double fold your fabric. And line it up, take your time lining your fabric up and smooth it all out. This edge up here is your neckline and shoulder area. The edge down here is going to go down the center of your body, and the selvage edges here are going to go onto the side of your body. Now lay your pattern out. So remember your pattern, the shoulder area goes over here on this folded edge. And then the center of your top goes on the double folded that you see right here. Over on that side are my selvage edges, so you want this side facing the selvage edge direction. You can pin the pattern down if you like. I have a lot of these pin pads, magnetic pin pads all over my sewing room. So I just use those to place on top to weight the pattern down. You can either use scissors or a rotary cutter. I'm going to use a rotary cutter because I get a nice clean edge. And so just slowly go around, cutting around your pattern. And when you're done, this is what it should look like. Now fold your fabric in half and line up your sides and your bottom edges and the neckline area. Take your pattern, and we're now going to mark the side seams. Remember the dash line on your pattern. So take your pattern and fold it back. Line it up on your fabric. So line it up on the neckline, the shoulder area. Then take a fabric marking pen, and here's my line, so I can see it on the fold. And I'm going to draw a line with my fabric marker, and then flip it over, line it up again, and then draw the line on this side. Before you do any sewing on it, try it on, pull it up over your head, and make sure the hole is large enough to go over your head. If it's too snug, I would cut a little bit more off, but do it in baby steps, just a little at a time. This is the end of my bias tape, and before I get started, I want to cut one end of it off straight. Now, the method I use for stitching the ends together is a little different than probably what some of you are used to doing, but I find this way is so much easier, and you're still going to have plenty of stretch in that bias tape. Have the back side of your fabric facing up, and again, we're starting at the neckline. So take your bias tape and open it up and take that end that we cut off straight, and then unfold it completely. There we go, or especially on one side. And you're going to start about 3 inches from the end of this bias tape. So I'm going to line it up on the edge of my neckline, the raw edge of my neckline. And what you're going to do is you're going to use that fold line right here as your guide to stitch on. So you're just going to keep that folded line on the center of your presser foot and begin stitching right on that fold line in your bias tape. And I like to adjust my bias tape as I go along. I don't normally pin it on because I find it's more difficult. So also remember not to stretch and pull on your bias tape, because that way it's going to make your neckline come out really bad. So just lay it down. Don't pull on it, and again, line it up on the edge and continue stitching all around your neckline. And when you get about 3 or 4 inches away from where you started, then stop stitching. I just finished, I'm about 3 or 4 inches away from where I started, so take it out of your machine. And now you're going to fold the binding up, and you're going to overlap by about a 1/2 inch, and then trim the excess off. Unfold the bias tape and bring the ends together, and you're bringing front sides together. So align your edges up and then stitch a 1/4 inch seam along there. Unfold the seam and line the bias tape back up along the edge of the neckline and finish stitching it closed. Turn the front side of your fabric facing up, so you're looking at the pretty side of your fabric. Fold the bias tape over the edge. Bring the folded edge of the bias tape down to your stitch line, and then stitch close to the folded edge of the bias tape. Keep the edge of the bias tape in the center of your presser foot and just stitch around. Remember, you're stitching close to the edge, and I just keep adjusting my fabric as I go along. And here it is, it's all done. Now put the binding on the bottom of the top, and again, have the back side up. I recommend you cut one of the ends straight, line it up on your fabric, and you're going to do it the same way. Go all the way around, and remember, when you get back to where you started, you're just going to overlap those ends and then cut 1/2 inch overlap. To do the side seams, first fold the top in half. So here's the neckline area, here's the shoulders, and make sure that your edges are even all the way around. Here is the line that I marked on top of the fabric for the side seam. I've placed pins there. What I recommend you do before you stitch it with your sewing machine, just do a hand basting stitch on both of the seams. Try it on first. Make sure it was easy to get on and off and that you felt comfortable in it. If you need to make those adjustments, go ahead, once you've got it to where you like it, then go ahead and stitch on top of the fabric, back stitch a little bit up here, stitch all the way down to the last pin, and then back stitch again. Well, here it is. It's all done. For more easy sew clothing projects, play this video until a green screen appears and then click on the links. Phone or iPad and enter. I'm so distracted by what you guys are doing. If you like this video, please click on thumbs up and don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Click on the bell and enter your email address so you receive those email notifications. If you're not receiving your email notifications, go to your cell phone or iPad, click on Settings, and turn notifications on. This is Maria and Bailey, Manny, Jamie, and Teddy. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.